I stand here sick and under the influence of the flu. Just mentioning the Dark One's name has brought me down to my knees. Anthony Smith's reign of terror needs to end at UFC 310 by the hands of Dominic Reyes. There is not a more perfect person to do it. Dominic Reyes made one of the comebacks of the year, one of the feel-good moments of the year when he KO'd Justin Jacoby's fat ass, who trains with Anthony Smith, so F him by association. But Anthony Smith, let's get down to Anthony Smith as a human being. You will find Anthony Smith in the corner of a cage, curled up, just trying not to get finished, just holding on by the thread of a needle, or whatever it is that you say. Try not to get finished while he's hurling insults at everyone in the UFC, just here and there, and jab, 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 jab. TJ Dillashaw, oh, you're a steroid user, you can't talk shit to me. Oh, this guy, I don't think his wrestling is good enough. Oh, this guy, I don't think his 1-2s are good enough. Oh, Johnny Walker and Ryan Spann, they're basically retarded, considering that if my brain was in their body, we'd be whooping John Jones's ass. I shouldn't have said that word, but I don't care. It's true. That's basically what Anthony Smith has been implying and saying for every single fight. Before we fought Roman Dolidze, he was saying, oh, I don't know why I've gone with this voice for Anthony Smith, but this is the voice that Anthony Smith sounds like to me now. Wait, what did he say? Oh, there was no light heavyweight that wants to fight me. They know. You can ask them any questions. You ask them, why don't they want to fight me? They probably don't want to fight you because they know a win over Anthony Smith means penis in the UFC division, the light heavyweight. What the hell does a win over Anthony Smith get you? I'm so happy Roman Dolidze whooped his ass, his fat ass. Because Anthony Smith looks out of shape, let's be honest there. He's got a bit of a belly hanging over his shorts. And Roman Dolidze, middle of the cage, was dancing around you, Anthony Smith. He was doing the jiggy while he was jigging your ass all up and down the cage. That's what he was doing while he was whooping your fat ass. While he himself came in probably not in the best shape, considering it was a light heavyweight fight and he's a natural middleweight. You are losing to fringe top 10 middleweights while being a light heavyweight, calling out Alex Pereira because, oh my god, his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu isn't good enough to hang with me. If I get his back, it's over. When has Anthony Smith ever showcased high-level Jiu-Jitsu? In terms of just dominant performance, like, okay, the fight starts, Anthony Smith, let's get this fight to the ground. Never! Ryan Spann, I think, shot in on a takedown when you snatched his leg up. Snoozdemir was basically giving you his neck while you triangled him. Are we really gonna act like a couple of submission wins means you're this high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy? What happened when you fought Glover Teixeira? You got your head pounded in. And let's not pretend like Anthony, the worst thing, Anthony Smith will go on, well, I'm a top 5 light heavyweight on the planet, I'm a top 10. I'm not the bad, people are acting like I'm not even top 10 anymore after the Johnny Walker fight. But people are acting like I'm not even top 10 anymore. I'm still a high level fighter. You got moved by a fucking middleweight. Shut the fuck up, Anthony Smith. I want to say more, but you have only succeeded because of circumstance. Anthony Smith, you've messed up the corpse of Shogun Rua, you messed up the corpse of Rashad Evans, and then you beat a Volkan Oezdemir, who's honestly overrated anyway, and then you got a title shot, said John Jones isn't actually that good. Of all people, have some self-awareness. If I am a person that goes into a job and I do a shit job day in, day out, and I know that if they had any chance to cut anyone, it'd be me, and then I go in and start like howling insults at everyone, oh, you don't do that right, you don't do that right, you don't do that right, you will get fucking despised and kicked out of the workplace that you work at. It's just common sense. Anthony Smith has brought the worst in me. He truly is the devil. El Satan, El Diablo. Anthony Smith, oh, what was I saying? See, this is what he's done to me. The mind he influences through his dark powers. Anthony Smith, you have fluked your way. Yeah, John Jones, how dare you? Like, don't get me wrong. That's around the time John Jones was kind of going iffy with his performances. But of all the people on the planet, you are the one calling him out? The fattest and by far the worst fighter John Jones has fought in the last 10 years probably. It's you in OSP. And you're howling insults. I don't think he's actually as good as he thinks he is. If I show up on the day, I think I got a real shot at him. You doofus. You low IQ, brain dead, double chromosomed man. Because honestly, think about it, right? You got kneed in the head. Just take the belt. Get pay-per-view points in your next fight. At least that way you can have a bit of a character that isn't just, then you being an absolute arsehole isn't just like by chance that everyone hates you. At least you can be like a gimmick, like, yeah, I'm an arsehole, I'll do whatever it takes to win or whatever. But you are a product of circumstance. You are acting like you have any claim at being top 10. You're not a top 10 light heavyweight. You never have been. You've definitely never have been top 5. That's a given. Only reason you climbed to the top 5 is because the UFC let go of Ryan Bader, Phil Davis. Who's that other guy they let go of? Oh, they didn't. Okay. Rumble Johnson, who's been let go from everywhere, technically. And I feel bad for Rumble Johnson. Shout out Rumble Johnson, a legend of the sport. Unlike Anthony Smith, who's an absolute bitch. Any of them would have whooped him. Thiago Santos whooped his fat ass in middleweight. Came up to light heavyweight. They never ended up fighting. But you know, before the ACL tear, he was going to mess Anthony Smith's world up. And then he beats Gustafsson, who, in hindsight, was way over the hill. He was just washed. Losing to, like, unranked, washed up Verdum. Or was it Verdum? No, Nogueira in the heavyweight division. Disgraceful stuff. And on the other hand, Dominic was one of the nicest dudes. Like, you see him in interviews die inside every time someone has to say, oh, well, John Jones did, you know, he whooped all, like, there's that video of him on the panel where all of John Jones' victims are present, and they're like, well, they beat us. They're all laughing. Anthony Smith's there as well. He's laughing. He's like, yeah, he really did beat my ass badly. And Dominic Reyes is just like, well, but it's just such a shame because he's just lost so many times since. Like, he lost to Ryan Spann, and after the Ryan Spann loss, it's like, it's over, man. Like, you can't be claiming nothing over John Jones, even though you did fairly beat him. But Dominic Reyes came back, beat Dustin Jacoby, who Anthony Smith trains with. So he must feel the wrath of second-hand Smith. Please knock Anthony Smith out. I don't think Anthony Smith can take you down because John Jones couldn't do it, and you're an athletic enough dude, even at 34 in my opinion, that can just spring back up. Don't be stupid. Don't follow Anthony. Don't play the ground game with Anthony Smith. And even if you do, let's be real here. What's Anthony Smith gonna do? Trap your hand and pull for a guillotine? No, sorry, trap your hand and pull for a triangle choke? Ooh, Anthony Smith and his fake Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Who the hell has he ever dominated? Let's be honest here. Who has he ever done it through his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and like being like, oh, the fight started, well, Anthony Smith was on the ground, so we'll just take it there. Never happened. Ryan Spann shoved his neck into you to get a guillotine choke. Or was it a triangle? He shoved his head somewhere. It was either your crotch or your armpits. Somewhere. And the other time he got a submission win was, I'm having a hard time remembering, Ozdemir, who's also very overrated, let's be honest here. And don't get me wrong, there's that argument when Anthony Smith, you know, sometimes you hear like these fighters, yeah, well, when they were in their prime, no one could, Anthony Smith in his prime would get whooped by Ulberg. He'd get whooped by anybody. Honestly, can a Prime Smith really be, I mean, I'd pick him to beat Dolidze, but how confident are you he beats Dolidze? Everyone he beat was old or washed up or shit at fighting. Like, look at the Jimmy Crute stuff. His leg gave out. Devin Clark, that's what I think of that win. That's Devin Clark. Jimmy Crute, the performance that Anthony Smith had. And then Ryan Spann, who's shit, honestly. And then he beats Ryan Spann again in a split decision that he could have arguably lost. That's the form Anthony Smith is in. Johnny Walker, give him a punch to the chin. Just tap it. And he will crumble like the Twin Towers, as Adesanya says. Anthony Smith couldn't even close the range. That's how dog shit he is. Come on, Dominic Reyes. It feels like after every fight, please don't be a victim. Don't be an Anthony Smith victim. You know what I mean? Like, once you get beat by Anthony Smith, all of a sudden you are nothing to Anthony Smith. Well, obviously I beat him. I mean, the guy's got all the gifts in the world, but you know, my IQ is just different, acting like he's GSP or something. Just because you're bald, mate, you're not GSP. And you kind of have some similar facial features to GSP if GSP was a fat, overweight middleweight. And had no muscle definition, in all honesty. But that's who you are. You are Anthony Smith. The name sheds fear down the spine of unranked light heavyweights. That's who you are. If you're an unranked light heavyweight and you're fighting Anthony Smith, terrifying. He's in your nightmares. Because after he beats you, he's talking shit. This guy's on my level. There's levels to this game. Talking about Vito Petrino. Talking about anybody he's beaten. Don't be that Dominic Reyes. Please. You are still the last person to beat John Jones. Beat this bitch. End his reign of tyranny. Of just being curled up in the corner. Watching his wife have sex with all of... No, I'm just kidding. With Bisping. And just howling insults at everyone else. And after, oh, there's one more thing. I haven't even broken fight. I think Dominic Reyes can KO him. I think he can find the chin of Anthony Smith. I don't think it's that hard to do. I think Dominic Reyes is a good enough boxer. I think his athleticism, again, too good to get taken down. Anthony Smith's striking is dog shit, completely dog shit. Watch out for those leg kicks though. Check a few of them. Close the gap if he throws it. Throw a right hand if he throws a leg kick. Close the distance on him because Anthony Smith's striking is garbage. And he'll be hoping you go for a takedown. What was the last thing I was gonna say? Shit, it was a good point. Damn it. Let me think this through. Anthony Smith hasn't been on the Believe You Me podcast, so anything that he was providing us some entertainment by being, you know, like kind of like a funny dude on the Believe You Me, delusional, saying Jim Miller does not beat Brock Lesnar, and he said he'd put a good amount of money on it. Finish him, Dominic Reyes. Finish him off. He's hinted at retirement after every loss. Finish him off. Get him out of the sport. Brutal KO. Toes curled up. I want him twitching like Bryce Mitchell. I want him stretchered out. End his reign of tyranny. Of just spouting insults here and there and just everywhere. It's just... and then I bet you anything... Oh, the excuses. After... That's what I was going to get at. On the Believe You Me podcast, the excuses come out. Well, I just couldn't take it. Before the fight, he's like, no light heavyweight want to take this fight with me. I'm a beast. They knew why. You asked them the question why. Afterwards, well, you know, I was gonna, I didn't quite have a good breakfast that morning. My toes were really cold that day. Is the shit Anthony Smith is coming out with? I don't love it anymore, man. I have a sauna, and I was in the sauna at home. And did I mention I have a sauna? The fact that I have a sauna really shows that I just can't compete at the high level. I just can't compete at the high level anymore. I have a sauna at home, and I just don't want to train outside. I don't want to go outside. The sun will burn me because I'm a fucking vampire who fucking kills this sport. And the fact that my existence in the top 10 just shows how low level the division is. Because wherever I am, every person below me is immediately thought of as dog shit because I, myself, am completely shit at fighting. That's me, Anthony Smith, light heavyweight, top 10 dude in the world. On my given day, I can beat anybody, but I'm still dog shit. And I don't beat anybody good. And that's the voice that Anthony Smith should have. Because he is a pussy. This is my most hate-filled video. Screw Anthony Smith. Just end him. I can't listen to him anymore. His analysis, where it's just the fact that it's Anthony Smith. Like, if it's John Jones saying that stuff, sure, it's a little bit annoying, but it's John Jones. It's GSP. It's just GSP. If it's Aldo, Aldo doesn't really speak English, but Anderson, Aldo, Mighty Mouse, imagine Mighty Mouse saying that stuff, and it's just, I see Mighty Mouse breaking down game, and he's like, oh, this guy had this hole in his game, this false, and he's just so articulate, so nice with it. I love you, Mighty Mouse. But Anthony Smith, just the fact that he thinks fighters are below him in skill is absurd to me. End him, Reyes. KO. Round 3. Catch him coming in on a bullshit takedown attempt that wouldn't go anywhere anyway. And just sleep him. Follow-up shots. The referee trips. You hit him with another. Anthony Smith comes back too. You hit him with another one. His teeth start falling out. He goes out. You punch him again. He comes back. It's basically a bunch of consecutive knockouts one after the other he gets. Until his career... no. Nothing too bad happens to him. He just gets stretchered out. Oxygen mask on. And he's out of the sport after that. Bye-bye, Anthony Smith. You had your fun. Anyway, like and subscribe. I'm at 136 subscribers. Get me to 150 by UFC 310. Just do it. Just do it. I'll see you later.